Your gut rhythm might be rewriting your heart's stability right now. We are told health requires external metrics or constant chemical boosts, a treadmill of biohacking that only addresses symptoms. But what if true regulation does not come from fixing inputs, but from tuning internal patterns? Imagine the body not as a machine with broken parts, but like an incredibly complex piece of music seeking its perfect harmony. Instead of simple reflexes telling your heart to speed up or slow down, there is this deep, autonomous language speaking between organ systems. This process, where disparate rhythms across gut motility and respiration begin to sync up into one unified flow state, is visceral-somatic rhythmicity at work. It is how the body achieves systemic self-governance without ever needing a cortical command or a pill. The actual mechanism driving this systemic coherence is not just pattern syncing. It is deeply rooted in what we call somatic gnosis, or deep knowing. This means your body has an internal monitoring system far beyond simple reflexive loops. Think of interoception as a hypersensitive biological radar, processing the whispers from your gut and heart via pathways like the vagus nerve itself. Instead of needing conscious thought to achieve balance, this enhanced awareness allows the insular cortex, that key seat of self-awareness in our brain, to autonomously regulate systemic states. This is not just feeling good. It is biology performing sophisticated predictive modeling on its own needs for homeostatic stability. So we know your body is essentially running its own predictive engine based on those internal whispers. But the research shows something far more radical than sophisticated self-monitoring. It suggests a complete systemic shift in priority. We are moving beyond simple reflexes, those quick, brute force automatic responses designed for survival. Instead, this deep biological patterning initiates resonance. When your gut and heart find that perfect coupled rhythm, you are not just stable. You enter a state of maximal efficiency, where the system governs itself with effortless grace. This changes everything about how we perceive disease, which means something nobody expected for those who chase health solely through chemical input or rigid metrics. The organism does not need to be managed from the outside anymore. It needs to be tuned internally toward its natural flow state. The real breakthrough is not just achieving that flow state. It is realizing we can map it. It turns biological mystery into a measurable system architecture. We are not just hoping for resonance, we are designing systems, computational models based on how multiple oscillating cycles synchronize with each other across timescales. This allows us to pinpoint the exact natural resonance points where systemic efficiency is maximal without any artificial push or pull. Think of it like finding the perfect chord in a massive biological orchestra. But some biomechanical purists still argue that complexity only leads to noise, not stability. Does pattern generation truly override entropy? You need to see how this predictive biology works before you can answer that. The predictive models show that these coupled rhythms are not just passive synchronization. They are actively structuring reality inside the organism. This is not about finding stability, it is about creating intrinsic coherence, a unified field state where disparate biological clocks talk perfectly. Think of your body like a highly advanced orchestra conductor tuning every musician simultaneously without ever speaking to them. The subtle shifts in internal patterns do not just stabilize. They prioritize certain regulatory pathways over others, fundamentally altering the system's feedback logic itself. A specific afferent signal from the gut fires, but what happens next is how that systemic priority shift rewrites fundamental survival protocols forever. The finding we are looking at suggests a complete departure from traditional reactive biology. It shows that when these disparate biological clocks, the pace of your breath, the rhythm of your gut, the pulse of your heart, begin to couple into unified patterns, they do not just stabilize. They fundamentally construct order where chaos should reign. This is intrinsic coherence. Think of it like a complex digital pattern, finding its singular source code that dictates stability across an entire network, rather than simply patching individual failures one by one. The implication is radical. The body is not merely responding to stress. At these resonant points, the system starts rewriting its own operating instructions for resilience and deep self-governance. But if the organism can generate perfect order from internal noise, what does that truly mean for our understanding of disease? The real takeaway here is that we stop trying to manage symptoms, because the body's internal system prioritizes healing itself when it achieves its natural resonance points. We are not chasing external fixes. We are learning how to tune our own operating frequency towards systemic coherence. Think of your physiology not as a broken machine needing parts replaced, but like an instrument that just needs careful adjustment. A focused attention on deeper states can shift the entire feedback loop. The simplest step is radical presence in those deepest moments of embodied rhythm rather than obsessing over surface metrics. It means trusting the body's capacity to generate its own order. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. So what does all of this complex biology actually mean for us? It means we are not simply biological passengers waiting for a chemical fix or a rigid routine to save us. We possess an internal organizational intelligence far beyond our conscious control. Imagine your body is less like a faulty machine and more like a self-writing algorithm, capable of generating perfect stability from the very noise inherent in life itself. The shift we identified, the move toward intrinsic coherence, is fundamentally about accessing that innate capacity to code its own order through patterned rhythm. Your singular takeaway is not another breathing exercise. It is realizing you can attune your attention not just to a feeling, but to an organizing principle within yourself. That alignment with deep somatic flow shifts the system's entire operating directive toward resilience and self-repair. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.